Lord Provost, Lady Provost, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Macca's Court at the Writers' Museum. Martingva Alula Dunya, Gab Moleshko esom Gaelic Boch, Hamigle Gle Holicha Shaw and Jew. My name is Councillor Deirdre Brock, convener of the Culture and Leisure Committee for the City of Edinburgh Council. It gives me, again, very great pleasure to welcome you all here today as we add another inscription to Macca's Court. I'm, of course, particularly pleased that the Lord and Lady Provost have been able to join us for the ceremony this morning. Macca's Court at the Writers' Museum celebrates the lives and works of Scottish writers. It was officially inaugurated by the late Ian Crichton Smith in August 1998, when the first 12 writers, ranging in date from John Barber in the 14th century to Sorley McLean, who died in 1996, were commemorated. And since then, 22 stones have been added. I'm delighted to say that with this new stone being unveiled today, the total number of writers commemorated here reaches a grand total of 35. It was always the intention of the City of Edinburgh Council that Macca's Court be encouraged to grow and develop into a Scottish national literary monument, a Scottish equivalent, if you like, of Poets' Corner at Westminster Abbey. The Council, in partnership with the Saltire Society, actively encourages organisations and individuals wishing to sponsor a stone, and I am truly delighted that this particular inscription has now been added. The stone commemorates the celebrated poet and member of Scotland's longest-lived bardic dynasty, Lachlan Mor MacMhuirich, and is sponsored by the Clan Currie Society. I wish to record now my most sincere thanks to the Clan Currie Society for this significant contribution to the development of Macca's Court and the recognition of Scottish writers, of course. I'd also like to thank David Lindsay Stoneworks for designing, carving and laying the stone. Now, in a slight last-minute change of programme, I'm going to introduce Dr. Wilson MacLeod. Unfortunately... no, we have our guest speaker. That's nice. Wilson heaves a sigh of relief. Excellent. Well, I'm going to now introduce Dr. Donald William Stewart, who's at the Department of Celtic and Scottish Studies at the University of Edinburgh, to speak about Lachlan Mor MacMhuirich and his place in Scottish literature.
Moving through Edinburgh during the summer for the tourists on the pavements is like moving through Treacle. You heard me show Sean Morahan onze Jusavati Chidocher son the Lahir show Tor Foscot Nalike Lachlan Mor MacMhuirich. It's a great honour for me to be here, and we are opening, if you like, this stone Yech to in the honour of Lachlan Mor MacMhuirich. What on earth would Lachlan Mor MacMhuirich say if he ever thought that they would one day be unveiling a monument to him in the middle of Edinburgh? I think he'd be quite flabbergasted, not just himself but all of his Clan Donald patrons, the very thought, and indeed the people down here in Edinburgh during the late medieval era, to think that we would ever one day honour one of the MacVuirich poets of the Clan Donald, the MacDonalds, Lords of the Isles, especially one who had, if you like, written or composed this great Brosnachadh, trying to encourage the soldiers of the Lordship of the Isles in fighting against the Lowlander. A terrible thing indeed, and I think it's just a mark of how far we've come on in Scotland, especially over the past few years, that we can envisage such an extraordinary step of unveiling a stone to Lachlan Mor. But I think this stone is not just in honour of Lachlan Mor, of whom we have just the one great poem, the Brosnachadh. It is in honour of an entire family of trained professional poets, the MacVuirich dynasty, literate Gaels, people who had spent anything up to 7 years over in Ireland, and they were very interdisciplinary and very international, if nothing else, in the Bardic schools in Ireland. They were more than poets, of course, as well. They were historians. They were genealogists. They served as an example to us all in the way that they mixed both creative and academic ability. Eminently practical as well. Many of them were lawyers, many of them were notaries, many of them ran the estates as bailies of the clan chiefs for whom they were working. And also we have to remember they were people that gave hospitality to all comers. A very important part of being a member of the Is Dana the people of the gifts, the learned orders of the Old Gaelic Society, was that they gave hospitality and sanctuary indeed to all comers. It's perhaps worth remembering that the progenitor of the MacVuirichs was an axe murderer. We shouldn't forget that. Somebody who murdered his servant, Murioch Harlaw Brosnachadh, who was called Murioch O'Daly, one of the great members of the O'Daly Bardic family, had to flee to Scotland to the Eldon of Lennox at the beginning of the 1200s. And that is how the MacVuirich family, if I'm allowed to say that, actually arrived in Scotland in the first place. However, he made up for it by the great contribution which the MacVuirichs have made to the Gaelic tradition since then. We're talking about a family not just taking in Lachlan Mor, but many other great MacVuirich poets as well, right up until the 1700s. A fantastic chain of poetic ability stretching from the late medieval era right into the modern era. Really something which is unequaled, I believe, anywhere else in Europe. We should also remember, just to finish up, that we're not just talking perhaps about the MacVuirich Bardic dynasty, but the many other MacVuirichs as well, and the Curries, their descendants, who were songmakers, storytellers, people who couldn't necessarily write, but nevertheless contributed to Scottish Gaelic literature, and indeed the literature of Scotland, and to other parts of the world where they found themselves as well, especially in Canada. So, well, thank you very much for being here today, for celebrating such an important dynasty. And as I was saying, there are at least 18 generations of MacVuirich poets in Scotland from the 1200s right up until the final member in the 1770s he died. So I'd expect perhaps at some time in the future maybe 17 more stones to be unveiled here in memory of the MacVuirichs. So thank you very much. And yeah.
Thanks very much, Donald William. I'm now going to introduce Malcolm McLean from the Gaelic Arts Agency in Lewis, Alan Currie from the Clan Currie Society, and Simon Chadwick here on the clarsach. They're going to be reciting the Harlaw Brosnachadh.
Cruas an naum nero, Gaharni, Gaharante, Gahalak, Gahalante, Gabio, Gabaravo, Gabriovor, Gabuan Faraga, Gakalama, Gacurante, Gacroa, Gacavua, Gaduris, Gadasana, Gajian, is Gatie Fulang, Gahesku, Gahenavo, Gahedi, Geherachel, Geforstel, Gefurachel, Gefrihe, Gefornete, Gegroma, Gegranjava, Gegleeste, Gegashkeval, Gehulov, Geheintjenach, Gehimmel, Gehimmelen, Gelanska, Gelaan of Laaf, Geladje, Geloa Bola, Gemaragante, Gemoor Knechtnige, Geminnemach, Gemilante, Genevnig, Genevetal, Geneertach, Geneve Ukloch, Gehoppen, Geholla Gnevach, Geheir, Geheirtach, Geprachtes, Gepriachbola, Geproste, Gepriasaval, Geronig, Gerotanen, Gerovora, Geriaval, Gesanta, Geshanaval, Gesochter, Gesartota, Gechente, Getokera, Getalkfor, Getraeske, Gehoolov, Gehoor Meisha, De Gostig, Nekachlara, Rebronov, Var Björvel, De Chlanikuun, Get Kaha, De Noos, Uur, waar nagente, de gullenen, confidant, de weirigen ponente, de jongelen la gasten, de non-korf, eergeloch, keurif kroge, korrente, de glannekuun, het gahag, glannekuun, keinikuun. Kruis dan meneer. Voor een tijd.
O children of Conn, remember Harryhoon time of battle. Be watchful, daring, dexterous, winning renowned, vigorous, preeminent. Be strong, nursing your wrath. Be stout and brave, be valiant, triumphant. Be resolute and fierce. Be forceful, standing your ground. Be nimble, be valorous. Be well equipped and handsomely accoutred. Be dominant, watchful. Be fervid, antagonist. Be dour, inspiring fear. Be ready for action, warrior-like. Be prompt and warlike. Be exceedingly fierce and recklessly daring. Be prepared and willing. Be numerous, giving battle. Be fiery, full ready. Be strong, dealing swift blows. Be spirited, inflicting great wounds. Be stout-hearted and martial. Be venomous, implacable. Be warrior-like and fearless. Be swift, prompting great deeds. Be glorious, nobly powerful. Be rapid, very quick. Be valiant and princely. Be active, exceedingly bold. Be ready, fresh and comely. Be exceedingly fierce and kingly. Be eager and successful. Be unfurled, striking excellent blows. Be compact and elated. Be vigorous, nimble-footed, in winning the battle against your enemies. O children of Conn of 100 battles, now in this time is this for you to win your reckoning. O raging whelps, O sturdy heroes, O most sprightly lions, O battle-loving warriors, O brave heroic firebrands, O children of Conn of 100 battles, O children of Conn, remember Harryhood in time of battle.
Wow, that was some stirring stuff. I feel like inviting you all to, engage in battle somewhere, but obviously I won't. That was wonderful. Thank you to Malcolm, Alan and Simon for such wonderful renditions of the Harlaw Brosnachadh. I'm now going to call upon Robert Currie, President of the Clan Currie Society, to speak, and then with the Lord Provost to remove the saltire from the stone.